teach you that, did they?
Hey, I got that from the streets.
I was born with that in my DNA.
Bro, when I was in college, bro, one of my frat brothers, bro, because I went to a pretty hood college, so frat brothers wasn't like frat boys you see in school. They were just thugs who just happened to do some shit. But I literally helped a nigga, like, he put a ladder inside of a shopping cart. This is outside of the house, like, to steal the neighbor's cable. Put the ladder inside the shopping cart. I had to hold the ladder in the shopping cart while he climbed at least 6 feet into the air above the ladder to hook up somebody else's cable.
Awesome niggas.
And I'm sitting here trying to talk him out of it the whole time he's climbing the ladder. He's ignoring me the whole time. But I'm not gonna lie to you. Once he hooked that shit up, I wasn't complaining. Like we had.
Uncle? Who you said this was your uncle?
No. This is one of my frat brothers. This is when I was in college. This was in front of his house. Like so, he just.
You was fratting with one of your uncles and shit. Okay.
Nigga, you been an uncle for the last 30 years, nigga. Your old ass.
Nigga from like grandfather.
CJay, yeah.
Hey Rob, hold on, Rob. I give you a compliment. Do you steady coming for me, bro?
What you talking about, bro?
Oh, that wasn't you. Who was that?
Ah, that was Jay, huh?
That nigga blaming on nigga he ain't even met yet.
Damn.
That nigga introduced himself by blaming on that nigga. Hey, hey, Rob, you gonna have to swipe your screen, nigga. I know you on the phone, but that's Jay. That's another comedian from Miami. Jay, Rob is white shirt, black Panther hat. Black Panther.
Yeah, they names up here. I can see him. Fernando.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then that's my man Fernando.
Going on,
yeah, you know CJay in London. Yeah,
Rob,
another Miami comic.
Jay, why are you wearing a MAGA shirt? Oh, magic.
He tried to, it was an A. He just separated and tried to make it to an I.
You got that way where people got hit with his hat.
It looked like
wow, Jay's opinions changed recently.
Say what?
That'd be funny.
Hey, let me ask y'all this real quick. This what me and Rob was talking about before y'all got on. Because it kind of came up as a joke, but I'm gonna ask y'all as a question. It's not a serious question. So basically, is there any amount of money that you will put a dress on for in comedy?
Yeah.
Who said that?
Hey, you gonna get Fernando $20,000? He gonna have on a mini skirt.
Fernando, you excluded. Yeah, y'all been doing that shit with the whole.
Oh, I'm Dominican now? Oh, I'm not black no more. I'm Dominican? Is that how it is? Oh.
You lost your black card. You back to Dominicano, nigga.
It's okay. I can buy another one with the money I got from the dress.
I'm about to say 500,000. I'll do a scene with Billy Bob Thornton. What's up?
We here to make money, okay? We're here for pride.
What's your price, Fernando? What's the lowest you'll go?
I mean, I think like in that situation,
you can go $49.95. $49.95.
And it's actually a two-part question. What's the lowest amount? But also, like, what level of dress? Are we talking about, like, Big Mama's house? Or are we talking about, like, Wanda from In Living Color?
More Wanda. I mean, I do Wanda, yeah. It has to be like...
I can see you Wanda, too.
It's somehow in my mind, like, the shorter dress is better. I don't know why.
Hey, I think Fernando really think he gorgeous. Like he like, yo, I'll probably look cute as a woman. Like if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna at least be a bad bitch. Like I'm gonna
everybody's grandma out here, okay? I'm too young for that.
What the hell is the podcast be about? Somebody try to tell me something.
Look. I'm not saying that answer the DMs, but it's nice to get them. You know what I mean? It might have to be something like I really felt, you know what I mean?
So
I don't know the dollar amount.
So what's the Rob? The question. So
I said Fernando cut his beard. I'm like, bitch, I'm fabulous out of this joint. I don't know how to put it on. Pull that shit off easily.
The first role in the movie is a woman.
So okay, so you say you're gonna go Wanda for how much? What's your lowest price? And and granted, we talking about a comedy. You ain't gotta do you ain't gotta do no type of weird scene. We just talking about just a comedy.
At least 6 figures, yeah, maybe like 200,000, 300,000, something like that.
Really?
What? To do what? I'm confused. Are we doing
Just to wear a dress?
So to do
a comedy club or
no. We're talking about in the movie. We're talking about in the movie. Not like comedy.
Here's the easy way to say it. You play Shanae and Mark. That's the easy way of saying it. You gotta do everything she did.
Hey, you can get me for a couple thousand. Fuck it. I don't know where.
Hold on. But let me.
Hold on. I don't know where anybody on here act like they too good.
But that's why I'm saying. Let me rephrase the question, because y'all thinking of y'all little non-known asses now. I'm saying if you were worth putting starring in a movie, in a Hollywood movie, and you could set your price to do it in a dress, what would that price be?
I think at that point it would probably be something I'd really want to do anyway. You know what I mean? It'd be like. But this is your first one. This is not, you haven't done it before. Like, this is your first one. You just said I can name my price. How's this? Yo, this example don't make no sense.
No. This is your first movie. Listen. This is your first movie with a dress. You've already done movies. You're a big star. You've already done movies, or just even say, let's say you're a rising star.
I thought you said it was the first movie.
That's what I'm saying. If I'm a big star, that means I got some pull, right? I mean, I'm probably doing it because I want to do it.
But I'm saying, there's big stars who've said no to a dress, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that's what if I read the script and I was like, yo, this is a good role or whatever, I'm probably doing it for the price I'm getting anyway. You know, I'm not charging extra.
But I'm saying, but they could try you. What if you was a big star and they was like, all right, we'll give it to you for $2 million? Like, would that be good enough, or you'll be like, nah, I need at least
like an extra $2 million?
No, $2 million.
How much am I making on my other movies? That's my question.
That's a good question.
Less than $2 million.
Let's say 6 to 8.
8.
So I'm making $6 to $8 million. Why would I take the $2 million movie?
That's my whole point. So what if you can name your price?
I'd probably do it for the $6 to $8 million that I'm already getting, or more. If I thought the role was good.
So you wouldn't charge more to be in a dress. I think is what Rudy's asking.
No.
Right.
I would charge what I charge if I thought that the thing was good.
All that. Listen, let me say this real quick. I want to help the situation.
Yeah.
If I can, and like the situation.
You're gonna make it worse.
I am. That's
pretty
fine.
much.
So I'm trying to get to understand that we some broke niggas. So let's just think in a broke standpoint. Let's not say we have the world at our feet.
Right.
Let's say Robert Coffee is headed to his security job. A nigga roll up and say, listen, I got 100,000 for you. Are you taking that 100,000, Robert, to hop in this movie with that dress? What type of number?
No.
What type of number you taking? Come on, don't do this.
100. I'm saying 100. I'm not hurting that bad for 100,000.
Oh,
I'm saying
it's some line. Hey, listen, it's some line.
My name, since you said my name for the example.
I apologize.
I'm good. No. I wouldn't do it. Honestly, in the heart of my heart, I wouldn't do the dress thing. I wouldn't do it. I don't care how much money you offer me. I wouldn't do it.
100 million.
You gotta have some integrity somewhere.
100 million. 100 million, non-tax.
100 million. You think? Hold up. You think Martin Lawrence got 100 million to
I don't know. First of all, there's no individual person getting 100 million out here for roles.
I'm just saying, though. Y'all putting. Hold on.
I just was throwing out a funny number, bro. It wasn't a serious. I didn't expect it to take it serious, bro.
You and Rob some fake ass niggas. Y'all doing that.
I couldn't do it, bro. I couldn't do it.
Hold on. Rudy. If a nigga come to you and say they gonna fix your bottom teeth, you taking that role, nigga. You gonna put that fucking dress on, nigga. If a nigga, the braces is paid for. The braces is in your mouth. They paid for. Bro, I'm done. I'm good. Let me.
I got dental insurance through the military, bro. I don't need $100,000.
What the fuck you not using it for?
What I'm saying, what I'm saying, but you try 100,000 is not enough to throw at me for a dress, is what I'm saying. If somebody had a regular role instead of 100,000, of course.
All right, let's ask the white. Let's only ask the only white guy on here. Fuck it. Let's go, Lonnie. Hey, Lonnie, report in, buddy.
Well, I prefer to be asked this question as a Jew instead of a white person because it has to do with money. So you know I'm gonna make a good deal. I'm gonna get a good deal. So I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, who are the guys that didn't take 100? Who didn't take the dress? It was like Bill Cosby, Chris Rock, right? So they were at the height of their fame.
Chris Rock wore a dress in CB4. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he did. He was on the Fresh Prince in the dress.
Yeah.
Who's the ones that I guess? What about Will Smith? Did Will Smith ever wear a dress?
He did.
Wild Wild West.
6 degrees of separation.
Right, Wild Wild West. Good call.
Rob said 6 degrees of separation was close enough.
Oh yeah, sister. Yeah, not his facts though. He had to kiss a dude. That's facts.
Wait, yeah, I mean
that's different from wearing a dress.
I mean, it technically is. It is.
That's what kissing.
It is.
That's absolutely out of the question.
No, I'm saying, but he wasn't. Will Smith wasn't even in a dress. I'm saying he just played a gay role. But I'm saying like that's different than wearing a dress. Because most men who wear a dress in these films are either going undercover or like Eddie Murphy. He's playing like a woman in the family type thing. Like,
right.
There's nobody really saying like the closest thing that was like a woman was like Joanna Man. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the most like him just being a woman throughout pretty much the whole thing.
I think that actor a woman in real life.
I mean, he plays a lot of feminine roles.
Yeah.
And then you've got White Chicks, which has multiple layers.
Right.
Well, White Chicks was dope with it.
Was it?
I guess, honestly, I think it depends on the script itself. I mean, honestly, if we all can sit here and say no because we're sitting here trying to be cool and thugs or whatever, but honestly, if the right script come in your hand, like a White Chicks, I think it'd be tolerable. You know what I'm saying? Even as a new comic or a new actor coming into the business, you know what I'm saying? Because that movie right there alone set the bar real high as far as dressing as, you know what I'm saying, a woman or whatever the case is.
No, that's real. Because like you said, even with White Chicks, that was more than just dressing as a woman. Like that was depicting that whole white girl thing. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't just like a random let's throw this skirt on. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like.
Yeah, that's what I meant. It had like layers, layers to it besides just being a woman.
Right.
But you got to think like if those guys got offered that role, it probably wasn't about the money for them.
Well, they wrote. I mean, that's their movie. That's
no. I'm saying like the guys that refused to wear a dress.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. You saying
those guys didn't have creative control.
No, what I'm saying is like maybe it was more than like wearing a dress. That like it was more than a matter of money to them. It was like a matter of principle. Like they just refused to be seen in a dress.
No, for sure. Okay. I mean that's definitely a thing.
Let me ask a quick question. How much it's gonna take one of y'all niggas to jump in a Brokeback Mountain movie?
No. See, my whole thing about this, I understand acting enough to know that I can't go to a gay character. I would do a very bad job. Like it wouldn't even be believable. You know what I'm saying? Like
nigga Rudy gonna be like, come here, bring that football up here, bring that motherfucking football over here, so I can run this motherfucking running back in your ass.
Let me ask you this: Do you think what Dave did was socially conscious? What Dave did, walked away from $50 million because of them trying to make him Dave Chappelle.
Okay, well I'll let somebody else go first.
I mean, because it's the same scenario what we're talking about now. He pretty much walked away from the Comedy Central, right? Because they wanted him in a dress, right?
Well, right. Well, exactly. That's what I'm really thinking of.
So I don't know if it was socially conscious. I just think he didn't want to do it. You know, it didn't sit right with him on a personal level. Like I think if he would have thought it was something, if it was something that he wanted to do, he would have done it. I just think.
I don't think it had anything to do with him. I don't think it had anything to do with him being like seen as a woman. I think he didn't do it because it belittles black people. Like they use that as that's like his argument.
I don't know if that could be the real narrative. Because I feel like with his show, to me, I mean, even though he's from here, I think it's some shit. I think what was the word you say about black people?
Well, it like emasculates black role models.
I think in the show he was doing that already.
Yeah, well, that's why he left the show, right? Because he was becoming.
And I never really watched the show because I thought he was a coon. You know what I'm saying? I'm a real dude. I mean, okay, Dave, and keep in mind, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. That narrative that narrative of that show, it was a little coonish to me. It was just like some stuff like this. I just couldn't get with it. The dude is very talented though. Dave Chappelle is actually one of the most talented black people that I ever seen in my entire life, and he's from where I'm from. But I think he got tired of that racial shit, that line he was toting to be funny, and certain shit was in our community, but it leaked out into other communities, and I think it was just overwhelming. He getting a lot of backlash. Niggas around the hood like, hey man, don't be goofy. You're gonna get shanked around the way. Like, you know.
I think it also played a part because it was his show and somebody trying to, you know, it's on, you know, like you building something, but when it's on somebody else's network, like they're technically in control. Like you created the show, so like they get rid of the show, then the show just go with you, but the network remains. So it's kind of like it was almost kind of like an appropriate dick swinging contest. You know what I'm saying? Like, because like I understand that y'all are funding whatever, but at the same time, like I'm putting up numbers. Like people are watching this because of what I'm doing, but y'all want to try to, you know, make me go a different route. And I think it was more or less about like I can show y'all I don't need this, you know what I'm saying, as opposed to me conforming to whatever the conversation was, whether it was the dress, whether it was the whatever. I think it was more or less about like I can walk away from this and still be okay. You know what I'm saying? And
wait, y'all still talking about Chappelle?
Yeah. This nigga hide shit.
Political shit.
No, because I don't think that's what it was at all. Because I just wanted to make sure I was still on the same track. Because that nigga, how the hell would he know that fucking Netflix was gonna come along and offer him $60 million or however many it was for a special? That nigga had no idea. That nigga was just out on the street doing fucking comedy, not worrying about shit. So, like,
that's the same thing I'm saying though.
But now, like,
he got paid from the show in general. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't need I guess he didn't need the $50 million or whatever they offered him for that job because he already was set from the first two seasons. But I think he was losing the first season. I think he was saying he was losing some of his creative control in that joint.
Right.
And I think he was talking about that they want him in the dress or whatever the case was. So it was kind of like what CJay was saying.
I didn't know nothing about the dress shit.
I didn't hear nothing about that. What I heard him say was he didn't like basically the narrative other people was taking his shit as far as what they were laughing at, the way they were laughing. When they wasn't
laughing with him, they was laughing at him. And that was the narrative.
He said when they were watching like that Pixie skit, you seen in season 3, the little thing with the black, where he was in blackface and shit like that. One of the like white executives or some shit like that was watching it with him, and he just did it the way that he was laughing. Like he was like, that's not the laugh that I was going for. He's like this shit. Like the whole point of this is to shine light on the stereotype that you think is real, but making fun of that stereotype, and instead he. Like you think I'm confirming the shit, as opposed to like you basically he just didn't like how motherfuckers was taking this shit. He realized this shit could be happening everywhere. So
I mean, I think it also depends on the artist as well, because then you can take what you just said with that, making fun of the typical stereotype, and take that with white chicks. They was doing pretty much the same thing, pretty much. You see what I'm saying? So
I don't know, David.
He was white chicks. They was making fun of the stereotypes of white chicks or whatever the case was. You see what I'm saying? It was creative. So, what difference? I guess it depends on the person as well. But what different than what Dave was being offered, what Dave was doing, than what the Wayans brothers was doing, or what they was offering?
Well, hold on. Well, Dave, hold on. Can I say this real quick? White Chicks was a movie, bro. It was a movie.
That's what I was gonna say.
Hold on, wait. It was a movie. And they wasn't making fun of just any white women. They were making fun of blonde white women, which men of white men would say.
Nah, they was making fun of them.
Hold on. Would say that white women with blonde heads are dumb. Yeah, so that's the role that they play. They played into the stereo. They interject that shit every week into a comedy sketch on a white network. You understand what I'm saying? And that's like I think he just came to a point where he was just like, you know, I can't continue to solidify what they think. Like what Jay was saying was like the executive. He said like one of the executives was laughing a little too hard. You like, hold on. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's just like one of us saying nigga. You be like, ha! White dude like, ha! Like, hold on, I was just doing something to my nigga. So they was just. That's how I kind of feel. It doesn't take away that he's like talented and he on a whole nother level as a black man. And we all happy and proud. But at that moment, I wasn't like the biggest like Dave Chappelle fan. I moved on to more of his comedy stuff, but that show really, it just was just too much, bro. For my personal opinion, it was just too much as a black person. I'm like, nah, we dealing with a bunch of shit out here. I can understand you doing it once in a while or woo, but it's other funny shit. Don't, and then a lot of places did. I mean, it feel like a lot of our actors have to go that route to bring the funny into a broader audience. Like, why the fuck we got to do that? I mean, it was other comedians that like would do shit like the coonery shit. No, the real OGs like Red Fox, Cat like that. I don't recall them ever being those type of comedians. You know what I'm saying? You know, they just gave it to you raw. Like, fuck you, whitey, fuck you, black, whatever.
Wait. Well, Red Fox, he did with his TV show. He did play I don't want to say dressed up as a woman, but he played that role a few times. You know what I'm saying? With you know, how he was doing his little thing. So it seemed like somewhere, anywhere, there's always going to be some form or some taste of some kind of demasculine in black men in Hollywood. It seemed like. I mean, everybody played they might not have played the full, all-out, full role, but everybody has played something somewhere. If I can say that myself, you see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you have to scratch your back. You have to scratch somebody back a little bit to actually, I guess, get what you want in Hollywood.
Man, some of them niggas scratching each other's butthole. I don't know, but
it goes back to the whole script thing because like if you can. That's just like if a woman, you know, if you see a woman who always plays like the hoe in a movie, like subconsciously in your mind, like you'll see that actress and she can be the most Christian woman or whatever in the world. And you be like, look at this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Because like that's just what's right. That's just because you just remember every sex scene she ever did, you know what I'm saying? But so like it's important that even like with women, if they do just say like a slut role or a prostitute or whatever, then the story needs to be meaningful. Like this needs to be a purpose why I'm doing it. So the same thing even with the whole dress or whatever the situation may be. If you're going to do something, I think as long as it's with the intention at least. Because I mean sometimes, you know, art can always be misconstrued. I mean people go
I don't mean to cut you off, but look at big ass Vin Rames. Remember Vin Rames?
But see, that's what he just be doing roles. Like
Vin Rames is just an actor. He like
right.
Hey, listen, Vin Rames like, how much the road pay? 80,000? I'll take it.
Right.
I'll take it.
And if you want to be real, like Vin Rames is not he's never, at least in my opinion, in my knowledge, have ever been an A-list celebrity in his whole career.
Now, he'd be list, but when he played,
when he
played in Baby Boy, he was an A-list actor.
But Baby Boy wasn't even. Like Baby Boy is way more of a black person's. Like we keep that close to our heart. That's our shit. That ain't no.
Hey, Lonnie might not even known about that movie. I done let it all out.
I've seen Baby Boy more times than you. I can almost guarantee you that.
Hey, that happened to me the one time.
Why not tell a little nigga girl out to walk with her shit?
You want some breakfast?
Lonnie's like, I cook naked every morning.
This is my black movie. Hey, Lonnie, like this is my black movie. Hold on, you not gonna.
I watch all black movies. I've seen most black movies.
Every time
you like Jim Carrey, bro. You like Jim Carrey, man.
You think I would have gotten in this Zoom call if I didn't see all those black movies?
Yeah, right. Facts.
He's like, I'm the only one for a reason.
That nigga had to be vetted to get in here.
Right. You think this is not the stage for the white people who have not seen those movies? They got weeded out weeks ago.
That nigga had to text me 10 hood classics as the password before I let him in.
And he said some shit Rudy probably ain't even know and shit.
John Singleton.
But like I said, like that shit matters. So I think no matter what you choose, because at the end of the day, like acting is acting, and the best actors are people who can make you believe that that's who they are in real life, and they're really not. You know what I'm saying? So that is a thing, but at the same time, you have to be wise in your career. And I even heard Will Smith talk about how, for a while, like he was purposely picking all these male dominant roles to try to be the most powerful, like, movie star, black movie star, like in the world type shit. And it made him like chase after this life where, and he goes on to say how he bought this big house and, he thought he was buying it for his family. They really didn't even want it type shit, whatever. But the point is, like, when people are specific about the roles that they choose, they know that's the image that they're going to give off. And I say this one last thing. I remember Will Smith even said that Alfonso Ribeiro, the guy who played Carlton Banks, he said that when they came to do Fresh Prince, he told Will, like, make sure, like, you use your name. Like, they call you Will Smith in the script because whatever you go by, that's what people are going to know you by for the rest of your life. And if you think about it, we know him as Carlton Banks. People barely even know this nigga name, but Will Smith's name always remained because that's what, that's what started him. You know what I'm saying? And that shit carried him all the way through.
And that's where a lot of people, when they do characters and stuff like that, it gets stuck with them. You know what I'm saying? Like Tyler Perry, he's stuck with Madea no matter how many times he tried retire. Okay. Even Flip Wilson with Geraldine. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He got to a point was like, I don't want to do Geraldine no more. It was like, bro, that's all we know you as. That's all you gonna ever be. Right. When Tyler Perry tried to do a real movie, a real actor, he's like, Madea look ugly as shit as a real
right. You can still hear Madea voice in it a little bit too.
You know what I'm saying? Same way with Eddie Murphy, actually. You know what I'm saying? He's stuck. Every time I see Eddie Murphy, every time I hear him play a character, I hear the Trumps. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He was in Dolomite. Every time all I heard was the Trumps.
Fast talking and shit.
Damn, Rob really is that young. How you no Raw, no Delirious? You went to 1996.
I'm trying to tell you, I know my stuff, man. But that's the thing about being character. That's the thing about having character roles. Like everybody, you know that one character that he's gonna always be known as. Will Smith gonna always be known as Fresh Prince. Mm-hmm. No matter, I don't care how many movies he done, we gonna always know him as that. Tyler Perry gonna always be Madea. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just
Rob Coffee always gonna be broke. Yeah, we get it.
Right. I can go with that. But that's the character that he created, and that's what it is when it comes to being comedians. We create this character that we get people to love, and that's who we become. Kevin Hart, we know Kevin Hart is not really that person when the cameras go off. Right. But when them cameras go off, when those cameras go off, Kevin Hart is not the little big man. Kevin Hart is a normal person. You know what I'm saying? But he plays that role as not gonna pick on me because I'm a little guy. Hey, I'm tough. He's not that way when the camera go off. You know what I'm saying? But that's the character that Hollywood is paying him for. That's what you're going to always see him in. You know what I'm saying? So even if Kevin Hart was to play a serious role, we're going to look him as this certain character.
I think Kevin Hart was that character that he fixated on movie and on the stage. I think he was that character. But once he got rich, he wasn't that little.
Yeah, that's what Hollywood is saying for him.
He wasn't that little nigga. I'm gonna choose to be a little nigga today, and I'm a big nigga today, bitch nigga. Watch your step. That's just
real talk. That's the way it is with being with comics. See, I used to always tell you, find you a character, create that joint, and when you're doing your jokes, do your joke as that character, and that way people have something to relate to you as. You know what I'm saying? That's the way with that's the way with. When you're doing stand-up and all them making in Hollywood, they got to sell you. What's so special about you that I can sell you? Fuck your jokes. We all know you can write jokes. How can I sell you? And these upper echelon comics that's doing it out there, they have this gimmick that's the gimmick that they want to be. Everybody you can pretty much tell their gimmicks because we all listen to their cadence. Mm-hmm. We all tried. subconsciously we be doing it. Whoever your favorite comic is, I guarantee you do that cadence and not even know it.
Chris Tucker found a way to make the word man sound funny. Come here, man. You know, like, exactly. Man, boy. Like that whole little shit like that. Like,
he gonna always be
all that screaming and shit he be doing. That's because you think about it. Like, I was talking to somebody, like, just imagine if any other black comedian actor was in Rush Hour. Like, that wouldn't even have been the same movie.
It wouldn't have worked. Exactly.
Don't make the movie.
Right.
Right. Leave it alone.
What?
Don't even worry about it.
Hey, your whole shit is skip, nigga. We don't know what you
That's CJay, no cricket phone over that y'all breaking up.
That's not mine, bro.
Nigga, this one the only one that's been breaking up all night, yeah?
That's Jay. That's Jay, cuz.
Oh, that's Jay,
Yeah, that's Jay down there, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
Listen. This nigga Rob couldn't wait to get back, bro. Hey, look, I haven't seen this guy in a minute, but this guy could. He's that type of guy.
You know it's personal, brother. You know it's personal. It's going all 40 years from now. I'm like this old 120 year old.
Hey,
I miss Rob pulling up and putting that J in the air though. Boy, he used to have that fire though. Rob,
I don't know about what you talk about, sir. I have a
You know what Jay I'm talking
about?
God
damn, Tekashi. Shit.
You know what Jay I'm talking about?
Hold on. Is it just me, or was that? Did anybody notice me pulling away every time I was?
Hey, look. Hey, come on, man. Hold on. See, there you go, brother. I'm not like that. Y'all stereotyping. I don't talk about those type of things.
He got close snitching.
Hold on, wait, brother, open your mind. Hold on, brother Rob, open up your mind. I'm talking about shooting a J. Like, open your mind and development, brother. I haven't seen you.
Hey, who brought the basketball goal to the comedy show?
Right.
What you say?
Who brought the basketball goal to the comedy show?
Who brought the goal to the good? What was y'all shooting the J on?
Air joint. Air joint.
Outside of Purple Lounge on the top of the side of the joint.
Exactly. We do a lot of air joint. Like, back in the day, you like.
Hey.
What's up? That was back in the 40s before basketball was invented, nigga. Your time,
Hey, listen, that's called not having a basketball, though. Hold on. Come on, everybody did that. Don't be like that.
Hey, Rudy, man, when the podcast gonna start, bro?
Huh?
When the podcast gonna start, yeah?
Oh, no, this is it. This is what we do.
Oh, I thought we had like a certain topic we go on.
Oh, no. That's why I said that. I was like, no, like we literally, it's just whatever conversation come up, bro. It's just comedians coming together. We just talking about comedy.
What you got on your head today, though, bro? What's that, a motorcycle, John? A little dude? Like a little...
Who you talking to me?
Yeah, what is that?
T-shirt, nigga. The fuck? He ain't had hair in so long, he don't even used to putting shit on his head. What is that? What you got, a napkin? What is that?
That's what the fuck it look like.
What a paper towel? What y'all use?
Like one of those like you go to a steak, go to a steakhouse, a black napkin.
That nigga Rudy like a strong black woman. I just talk like shit. I pay all my bills. I don't need no back.
Rudy not trying to fuck up his edges. I get it.
Oh my God, man. Lonnie, like, what the fuck is going on, bro?
Lonnie hope we go back to talking about Baby Boy. That was the only thing he had for us.
Right.
I got a whole list of shit. And on this part right here, 2 minutes and 46 seconds, Lonnie had his shit together for your ass tonight.
I have my Baby Boy flashcard ready to go. So I've got some other ones ready.
Like, say something, motherfuckers.
I got my jokes here. I'm ready to go.
He was waiting for y'all to shut up. He was gonna be like, "What about Boys in the Hood? Boys in the
Hey,
Hood?"
Fernando and Rob, I want to ask y'all this just as a quick side note question. Hey, what was y'all's true thoughts about Purple Lounge? Like when y'all coming to do comedy at Purple Lounge, like what was that experience like for like a?
Oh, that shit was the worst. That shit was bad. He walking in like, it's Tuesday, ain't nothing else. I'm gonna do this in a pinch. Like, it's gonna be them two girls. It's gonna talk shit all night. No, them two girls was fun. If you can get those two girls, Those 2 girls was fun. He was like, ain't nobody gonna be here. We gonna be 10 minutes. It's going for like half an hour.
When we first started doing that Tuesday was lit, bro. We used to have fun in that
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
It was fun. We made it fun.
Right, exactly. It was never.
You gotta make it fun.
I mean, not all of them. Some of them are just fun.
Everything Fernando said was all rookie comments, huh?
What'd you say, Rob?
Everything Fernando said was all rookie comments, huh? I thought that room was dope as shit, young. Your room was like, I don't want to say like every other room, but your room was like, when it's on, it's on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When it's off, it's off. You know what I'm saying? So it's not one of those rooms you be like, this song ain't never. That's the way with any room on an open mic on a Tuesday, Wednesday type thing. You know what I'm saying? When them joints was on though, we had a ball in that joint.
It was off.
I must have missed it.
But we still made it fun when it was off though. You know what I'm saying? Because you pretty much let us go up there and do whatever. You know what I'm saying? I done fell on stage on that joint. I done did so much joint. But it made if you was a real comic and understand what the purpose of that room was, it made you tighten up on your set. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can make your same set work with 2 people, you can make that same set work with 50 people. You know what I'm saying? And that was the task at Purple Lounge. You know what I'm saying? It was up to Rudy and CJay to keep everything mixing and mingle. But once we got out that jump, we had a great opportunity to really work on some shit. I always thought that room was dope. That's why I came every week. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I really enjoyed that joint. Like I said, I wish we could have did more with that joint. You know what I'm saying? But I could tell the way the owners were. They was kind of.
The thing about it was, for one, Ant was supposed to. The other nigga, Ant, was supposed to be promoting the shit. That nigga, he wasn't. He more party promoting. So he don't. I don't think he realized it was way harder to get guests to come to an open mic on a Tuesday, especially when because he don't know about the what's the people name? The underground whatever. What's the man name? Sean somebody or
underground comedy.
What's his name? Say it again.
Sean Joyce.
Sean Joyce. So he don't know about people like that. And then even what's the other one? Capital somebody.
Capital Lab.
Like those are like the 2 they got shows everywhere, every day. You know what I'm saying? And hella comedians sign up for them shows. And majority of their shows have an audience. You know what I'm saying? Even on the off days. So unless you had a popping Friday or whatever like that, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be hard to do an open mic, even with it being free. And then on top of that, it was in Virginia. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like it's in DC.
But I've been to rooms on weekly basis. Worse.
No, for sure. No, I'm saying.
At least we had them Hobby Shop folks up in there. Ethiopian stayed up in there, boy.
Yeah. And then military people to pull up every once in a while, and then we would have people flow through every once in a while. It just wasn't consistent. You know what I'm saying? Even some nights, just say if Rob came through and left early, more people audience showed up later in the night type shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was always it was some nights it was people all the way through, but then there was some nights where people came early and then left, or they came at the end and only caught keeping it real drunk ass up there or somebody. You know what I'm saying? They laughing. His spit.
Y'all had some motherfucking people come through that joint, boy. That shit was.
Rudy, isn't Keeping It Real is that the homeless guy?
Yeah, that's the same guy I was telling you about. Yeah.
Yes. So I'm gonna tell you, how did I say I met Keeping It Real at McDonald's.
At McDonald's. Mm-hmm.
And he was like, hey, what's up, brother? Can you throw me something? I'm like, yeah. I'm looking at his hand. He got a beer in his hand. Nigga, you got some money. You got some money. You rich. What the fuck you asking me for money?
Right.
No, somebody just got me this one. They call me Keeping It Real. And I was like, oh, okay. I said, yeah, we do a comedy, Joe. And because he had me laughing.
Right.
Just his boldness. I said, man, we do a comedy, Joe. Y'all do a comedy, Joe. Comedy right here. Oh, okay. I'm there. I was like, okay, all right, come through, keep it.
Right.
That's how I really met him. But when he get up on that stage, man, he'll freeze up in the mix of being a little drunk and wanting to do comedy.
But people would laugh, even if they was laughing at him. He always found a way to make people laugh, even if it was because he was embarrassing himself.
Right.
He found a way to make people laugh.
But that's what comedy is. Getting up and embarrassing yourself.
Hey, Hey, remember, he used to let him go last. Like he always thought he was the headline. He's like, nah, let everybody else go.
Nah, let everybody else go. Let everybody else
I'm closing out the show. We like, all right, man. That nigga going last, man.
And then and look, when he take it too long,
I'm closing out the show.
They would be like, CJ, go get your man.
Yeah. The owners and shit was scared of that nigga, man. They weren't trying to get that motherfucker.
Hold on. The owners didn't even want the nigga to do comedy. It's like, nah, nah. He can't be up here.
Yeah, they was trying to kick his ass out.
I remember he had to buy a beer. Remember? He's like, look, I done bought a beer and some liquor.
Right.
I'm going up tonight. I was like, all right, keeping it real. Go ahead, definitely.
Hey,
my spot last, right?
What was the Purple Lounge of Miami? What was the spot that was the most equivalent?
Man, listen, Miami ain't got enough comedy to have a Purple Lounge of Miami.
Are you serious?
Bro, listen to me. There's one person single-handedly running Miami in comedy. One person. His name is Manny Garavito. If he didn't have his shows, I'm talking about, listen to me, I'm talking about the actual city of Miami. I'm not talking about all of South Florida, Fort Lauderdale. I don't know if y'all know how that works, but there's a lot of cities down there, West Palm Beach, whatever, blah, blah. But in Miami specifically, it's one person, Manny Garavito. He literally got shows 6-7 days a week, like whether they open mics, book shows, whatever.
Spanish nigga, ain't he?
Spanish, yeah. But he's not even from Miami. He's from New York, but he basically, he's been doing comedy for 10 years or whatever, but he basically built that scene. Like he created this website and basically like he have like shows at like different spots. Like and so it's called MiamiComedy.com. And basically like there's no real comedy going into Miami. They just opened up that other new Improv. So it's either you go into the Improv or there's nothing else. There is no second tier, and the Improv is the Mike Epps, the whoever, you know what I'm saying? So you spending big bucks. But if you trying to come in town and just see either a free comedy show or a cheaper comedy show, most people, they go to Google, they type in comedy in Miami. Well, comedy in Miami is going to automatically take you to MiamiComedy.com. And every show that he has, that shit pops right up. And
that's where you're going to see. And that's where you're going to see Jay and Lonnie at, right over there. Chill. Like, hey, come on, bring your ass in here.
We used to
look at Jay. Jay like, yeah.
Bro, we used to be in those shit, bro. We used to be in those shit every single week, bro. And you're doing open mics, and there's an audience there every single week. Because there's no competition to shows. There's nowhere else for them to go.
Wow. We got to get to Miami.
He got a crowd every week, then. That's dope, man. He got a crowd every week.
I'm talking about a crowd every week.
They might not be interested, but they're there.
Oh, that's the key thing.
Yeah.
You gotta go. You gotta go. You got it. No, you gotta go up in niggas' face. Hey, it's a comedy show going on.
Dude, Rudy one time had to stand up on a bar tables, like not even like just a dinner table, a bar table.
Bro, that's specifically
like up to
that's
here.
Specifically tourists in Sweet Carolina. They're the ones who don't give a fuck.
Bro. And Rudy had to like stand up like he was organizing a Black Lives Matter thing. It's like,
that was because they was there for karaoke. It was a karaoke crowd that was just there, and they didn't want to leave. So I had to start the show. I was hosting. I had to start the show. This was in Miami, yeah.
Dude, that was wild.
I had to literally stand on top of that shit and just.
That was a good show, though.
I had to just start insulting just roasting people in the crowd for them to just stop talking and listen.
Hey man, get up out of here! You better lose your black card.
What'd you say, Rob?
I see a lot of people doing this. Now, how do y'all feel about comedy and other entertainment entertainment, like comedy and karaoke, or comedy and a go-go band, or comedy and? In my opinion, I think it's the worst idea in the world. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's organized a certain way, because 90% of the time, people, unless it's a comedy show, people come for the second part of the show, either the karaoke or the band, because we always go first. And if we go last, nobody's in, everybody's drunk and ready to go.
I'm kind of a purist like that. I like it to be just straight stand up. I get why people want to do it the other way, just to like break it up. It's like if you're producing comedy show after comedy show after comedy show, I get why you would want to like, all right, let me do something different with one. I'm working on one now where the person I'm working on it with wants to do other stuff, like have poetry or have comedy and stuff. I mean, not have poetry or have like music and stuff. And I think we're gonna try it. Like I think you should at least try it, see what you can do, see what you can do with it.
Yeah. The key to it is don't label it as a comedy show. That's the kicker to it. If you use it as a variety show, then people will come with the whole mentality. Okay, it's not going to be just comedy or just poetry or just whatever else. As long as you have the right approach with it, as far as the title of it, what it's called, I think you have a different result from the joint. Like the reason why I said it, because all the comedy shows that I've done like that is like comedy, then such and such. Everybody, 90% of the time, because we are new comics and nobody knows us, everybody goes to the karaoke night or we come to see the Garbage Pail Band or whatever the fuck they is or whatever the case is. And we might catch them, you know what I'm saying, right in the beginning at the end of our comedy set, right into the music. We might catch the crowd then, but it's really hard to do that shit when people try to mix the two together.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I agree. I like 99.99% of the time, I would just be like, no, let's just do a straight up comedy show. Like, X amount of stand-ups, hosts, like, keep it pure like that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like,
I've done the band. I've done it.
As an audience member, it may not be that bad, but like as a performer, it's definitely like I would, cause see, you as a comic, like you're judging the crowd based off of like who's going before you, like what the subjects they're talking about, like is that hidden where like, so like when I got a nigga up there rubbing his nipples and singing, like that don't help me. You know what I'm saying? Like I know why they going crazy over that, but that doesn't give me a proper feedback from comedy. You know what I'm saying? Like, do they really want to sit here and listen to jokes, or did they really come for that? You know what I'm saying? And it
came to listen to a nigga scratch his armpit.
Right.
If you're following a music act, it's lose if no matter what. Because if the guy doesn't do well, then you're following a pissed off audience that's like just sat through shitty music. Right. And if he does do well, everyone's like, "Fuck you, comedy! Let him keep playing." Right. It's like the first comedy I ever did was a bunch of like all arts open mics, you know. And you're just following, like, first of all, it also takes them like 10-15 minutes to like set up their equipment. So it's a big energy shift, you know, that you really have to like get over.
Now let me ask you this, Lonnie. By saying that now, was that from the experience of being a new comic, or do you think that it's a no-win situation? Because I always think if a comic know how to read a crowd, they should be able to do crowd work to get them back into that momentum of comedy. So I think if you follow a band, either way, I think the opposite of what you were saying, because either if the dude was terrible, you instantly as a comic, you gotta talk about it. You gotta talk about it. You gotta attack that shit. Everybody knows that. Sure. You know what I'm saying? And if he's good, you can always, you know what I'm saying, you can always play off, you know, I'm the extra part of the band. This is my, you know what I'm saying? You can always play off of it to get them on your side.
It's definitely a great learning experience. It's definitely, you know, a beneficial way. I think it's definitely something you need to learn how to do. But at the same time, like when I was starting out, that shit was intimidating to me. You know, having to deal with music.
It's more uncomfortable than anything. Like it's not like an impossible task, but it's like it's like I gotta now do that much more work to get them into my space as opposed to other comics who were helping, you know, get us to that point. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's hard enough to follow a good or a bad comic.
Right.
You know, and that's a certain energy of its own.
I don't know, Lonnie, on that one. I prefer if of course if you follow a bad comic, of course that's gonna be hard to pull the crowd back, especially if the comic loses the crowd by talking shit about him. Fuck you, crowd. That's definitely a no-win situation sometimes. But I think if you, let's just say, you know Tony Woods, right? You know who that is?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, if Tony Woods came up that drunk and killed that, you don't think you can follow Tony Woods?
I think I have to. I think like a lot of the nights I would follow, like Rudy would close and I would get right on, and whether Rudy killed or not, I still had to get on. He always more than often did.
It was never a not.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You more than often did.
And most nights he didn't kill.
But I had to get on no matter what, and that's definitely also a skill. You know, it's like whatever, you just got to get on.
I think after following a headliner or somebody who killed it should make it easy, because all you got to do is catch that wave.
Exactly. Sure.
If you know how to do that, if you know how to catch that wave, then continue on. You see what I'm saying? I don't follow some heavy. I'm like, yo, how I'm gonna follow that joint? You go up there and you say the dumbest thing and they laugh. I'm like, oh, it's not gonna be as easy. They already laughing, so I pretty much have to break my neck to make them laugh even harder, as opposed to somebody who ate a dick up.
Yeah, the only way you can't really follow somebody that's like funny, like a Tony Woods or something, you would have to be. You have to be inexperienced enough to not like know who you were as a comic, because like realistically, it really don't matter what the person before you does, because like you can control your own narrative by just making them now like you, whatever that looks like. But if they really like everybody else and then you're just an unlikable person, not that you have to be mean, you just don't know what you're doing. You know, you just kind of just, you know,
give it up, nigga, give it up.
This Rona's out here, huh? You know, just do, you know, just.
Hey, look, that nigga got a new mic. Look at this nigga, he got a new mic.
Like people, like, and especially if somebody like a Tony Woods was going deep on some shit, like really banging some shit out, and you come, you know, throw a couple jack off jokes or whatever, then people just gonna be like,
I hate those guys, bro.
But I'm saying, but that's new comics. Like at some point in time, in everybody tells a jerk off joke. You know what I'm saying? Like you trying to see what's funny.
Rob, you did do a jerk off joke.
Yeah. I still got one. I still use it. I'm not gonna stop.
But yours is
with the towel and the babies and.
But no, his is no. Rob is a jerk off joke. His is a joke about.
It's clean family comedy.
But the only reason why I keep it because it has legs on it. That's one of them things you gotta put in arsenal. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the part of forming that 30-minute set. You gotta have those arsenal bangers. You know what I'm saying? I think a 30-minute set to me is 15 funny ass 2-minute jokes. You know what I'm saying? Majority of our jokes is about 2 minutes, 3 minutes long. If you got 15, you know my joke where I do the push. If I got 15 of them joints, you got a 30-minute special that's gonna bang out the wall. Right. So us doing these 10, 15, 20 years to get that first 30 minutes, that's what we're doing. We're looking for those guaranteed bangers every time. You see what I'm saying? No, and once we do our 10, 15 years, now we're like, okay, now I got 30 minutes of some shit I know it's going. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way I look at it when I say. That's what I say when if you not even 10 years, maybe 5, 6, 7 years in, if you pretty much got the foundation of stand-up comedy, you pretty much should be able to follow a heavy hitter. You know what I'm saying? You might not be able to bang as well as they did, but you should be able to follow that joint and be like, okay, I did good enough for the experience that I had.
Hey, you Rob, how long you been in the game, Rob? I know you were about 15.
12 years.
2009, 11.
11. I thought you were going to say 12. I remember,
Yeah, 2009.
And then Fernando, what you about? What, 3-4 years?
Yeah, it was before November. Yeah,
November. And then CJay, you technically about 15. You know what I'm saying? You don't took too many goddamn breaks. This one.
Damn, niggas like you about 15 years of comedy. I'm the greatest comedian ever.
Hey, yeah, he might be like the big head, yeah, because Big Head been doing comedy for like 45 years. And I done asked that family like 4 times. I've been doing comedy since I was about 22 years old. I'm like, hey, bro. You ain't make it yet, nigga.
Right. That nigga DC legend. And that what? And Jay, what you at? You was what? 2 years? 3, 2?
I would hit 2 years in September.
Oh wow.
2 years in September. Then Lonnie, you about in the same right? Or 3 years, 4 years, something like that?
No, I'm at 2. Like before Rona, I had just gotten to the 2-year mark.
Gotcha.
Damn, I'm the fucking grandfather in this genre.
Oh yeah. Like, you the OG for sure.
And you still got a hairline. Fuck you.
Right. Bullshit.
Thank you, Lonnie.
He's got more hair than me, motherfucker.
All right.
I'm probably just a little bit longer than Rob though. So my jump probably about.
I said 15.
Yeah, I wasn't.
How long you been doing it? How long you been doing it, Rudy?
You might be around that. You might be.
I'm like 4 and some change. 4, maybe 4.5, something like that. Yeah. I started not too long before you. Like I was
already, because you was good back then. I thought you had been in like at least 2 or 3 years.
Bro, I'm not trying to say this to be whatever, but like I appreciate that compliment, but I really only stuck with comedy because I just naturally became good at it. Like I really tried that shit at an Alex Starr show, and it just happened to work, bro. And I was just like, yo, I think I probably want to just keep doing this for a while. And I just fell in love with the shit. But
anybody want to quit yet? Anybody
I gave my whole life. I done quit the army and shit already, so it's too late for me. I done already joined the whatever the broke Illuminati. I didn't.
Well, let me ask you.
I'm like CJ. I can see myself just taking breaks every once in a while. But,
okay.
Hey, look.
The only time I wanted to quit was during Rona, and it was only because I was questioning if I was funny. Because it was too long being off stage. I was like, why did the motherfuckers even think I'm funny? Like, nobody's laughed at me in like 3 months. I'm not funny. There's no way I can go back on stage. But that's just, that being alone, having time to think type shit. But yeah, I can't wait to get back on stage. I'm thinking about risking it all right now.
Hey, Rob, this 09, hey, look, this 09 right here, 09, 2019 right there.
Wow. Dope boy from Rachel Evans and Albo. He was a motherfucking driver for them tickets. Hey, grab the car seat and call CJay, nigga. We're going to rock.
That looked like a variety show, and it looked like you was rapping instead of doing comedy, man.
Hey, Lana, you thought about quitting yet, bro?
Huh?
Lana, you thought about quitting yet?
Not really. No.
Not really.
Okay. All right. A little bit of advice. When y'all hit the 5-year mark, that's going to really determine a lot for a lot of people. I mean, I did comedy for like 6 months and quit for like 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So when you hit that 5-year mark, because that's about the time when everybody gonna find their voice. You know what I'm saying? That's about around the time that I found who you naturally are. Right now, you're just writing funny to get comfortable on stage and learning your set. But once you hit that 5-year mark, a lot of people say that 5-year mark it determines a lot. You know what I'm saying? And that's a piece of advice. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna talk about this shit all night. I always look at it as the years of comedy is how old you are in your style of comedy. Like I've been doing comedy for 10 years, so I'm kind of a little a preteen in so many words. What I'm talking about, the subjects I'm talking on, I'm still doing fart jokes here and there. I'm still doing, these little nonchalant jokes. But once you get 15 to 20 years in, that's when you're gonna be on some Dave Chappelle, know how to talk about some normal shit, but making it so funny that you're not even trying to be funny. You see what I'm saying? And that's the ultimate goal where we all try to get. Right now, we just going out there, let me try this joke right here and see if it'll work. That's the way you was feeling, Jay. You was like, man, these motherfuckers ain't. We all been there, bro. Trust me. You're going to go through that joint like 10 more times, especially when you get a whole fucking crowd of people in that joint and nobody laugh off your shit. You know what I'm saying? That's going to determine if you're really good or not. You know what I'm saying?
In 20 years, this is how Rob gonna sound.
I can't even hear it, bro.
Can't hear that joke?
Nigga, turn that damn cricket off, man. Turn on the real Android sound, bro.
First of all, this is
Apple. Get that damn Barack sound out of here. He ain't the president no more.
Sir, this is Apple product. This is Sprint.
That's my fucking payer, nigga. That's the core of the Apple.
CJay held up an iPod. That nigga. What the hell?
Zoom. Nobody seen a Zoom in 20 years.
That nigga using the shit iCarly was using.
Jay, I know you're not talking shit. Your phone stay breaking up, bro. Your phone look like it's in front of your chest titty.
That's why I turned off the Wi-Fi because I'm outside.
No,
that's why I turned off the Wi-Fi.
You don't put your phone up under here.
The funniest part about this whole thing, everybody knew who iCarly was, John. That's funny as shit.
Nah, I was like,
hey, no, you know what?
I'm like, I don't get it.
What's crazy is, Rob, I was worried about you. I thought you was the one that was gonna be like, who the fuck is iCarly?
Nigga, I seen iCarly. That used to be my show, nigga. Fuck y'all.
Right, Rob watched it without his kid.
Rob
watched it without his
Hey, because you gotta think about it, Rob got 2 boys, so you know they ain't watching that shit. He in that. Like, if y'all turn this goddamn video game off, I'm trying to watch iCarly in this motherfucker.
If you don't turn that shit off and put this dress on.
100,000, nigga.
Wow.
And it's the right role.
And it's the right role, son.
Wow.
Hey man, well, we got to wrap this shit up. But hey, real quick before we go with Fernando and Rob, I guess a 2-part question. whatever. I guess you can say whatever you had kind of going on before quarantine. And I guess I know Fernando. I know you definitely had your show popping. I wanted to bring it up earlier, but we started talking about some other shit. But then, and then also on the back end, I guess you can even. I know Rona's kind of got everything shut down, but you can just give social medias, or if you got podcasts or websites, or if you're selling cologne, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
The only thing is Hannah's Basement. So before all this, it's like in May it would have been 2 years. I've been doing this once a month show in my friend's basement out in Wheaton. With the Rona, we had to cancel.
It's really a basement too.
Well, you did.
Basement, yeah.
Hey, you did the joint, Rob? You did it?
Yes, yeah, and the junk was dope as shit, bro. When I went to the trunk, I was like, "This is niggas actually somebody's basement," but he made it work.
It looks like it.
Yeah, he made it work like shit, bro.
That's dope.
That junk was dope.
Thanks, man. Yeah. So
basements would be.
I don't know how much I'll be doing Zoom shows, but for me, it's been like sort of the same vibe. So we do it every other week. The next one's July 17th. Yeah, man, we're doing that every other week. I got it's called Hannah's Basement. Look it up on Facebook. If you want to look me up, it's Funny Madrigal on Instagram. That's the best way to reach me. Yeah, man, that's still what I'm doing. I do a mic on Tuesdays. Just kind of like mostly DC Comics. If y'all want to come through, hit me up. Let me know. Yeah, I'm starting a new show. I'll tell y'all if y'all really want to know. I'll tell y'all later about it. I just don't want to put it out here.
Right.
It's gonna be like
Did
Wednesday.
you say your name? You said your name is Fernando Madrigal?
Yeah.
That's
you Portuguese or something?
Dominican, yeah.
Oh,
that's why we have
this nigga's a fucking conquistador in this motherfucker. I see this shit. Fernando Madrigal.
Toro.
He's got the baseball hat on. What do you think he does?
Hilarious, John.
Well, Jay and Lottie aren't getting booked.
Don't sign into my Zoom on Tuesdays, motherfucker.
Basically. But no, man, yeah. At Funny Madrigal on Instagram. Just find me on there if y'all want to follow what I'm doing. Every other week, Hannah's Basement. Next one's July 17th. Come through. I'm gonna try to do an outdoor show. That one's gonna be more like I'm gonna try to do it like Chappelle style, where like I'm not gonna tell anybody about it. I'm just gonna be like, I'm just gonna do it and then be like, hey, we did it, So
Got you. For sure. All right, what you got, Rob?
Nothing.
All right, so John ain't got nothing. So I also got.
Y'all niggas better start booking me for shows, man. Fuck that. I ain't had no shows, y'all. Ain't nobody call me for no damn Zoom shows, man. Fuck all y'all. That's what I gotta say. Fuck all this shit. This nigga Rudy and Hollywood, motherfucking fucking with Holly Berry type bitches. I'm over here with these raggedy ass hookah purple rounds, motherfuckers he left me with. I ain't got shit, man. Nobody don't come to my Instagram, which is Rob Coffee. I be having I'm the meme king.
Bro, you know your memes be funny, bro. I be seeing your memes, bro. And then you
motherfuckers, man.
Huh?
Like that, nigga.
Oh, hey, you can ask any of these niggas. I don't like nobody shit. I just look at it. I just keep scrolling.
I don't either, but nigga, I'm trying to get the motherfucking Instagram followers up, nigga. This
my bad. I click your shit. I'm really I'm incognito as fuck. Like I post. I don't even really look at my shit. Like I check like my views, but
you shouldn't be looking at your shit.
Cause you don't have time because you been out there motherfucking beatboxing with pens and ink pens and shit. I'm like, nigga, that ain't no damn drum.
Hey, but guess what? And Rob ain't like none of my goddamn videos either. Talking all that shit. I ain't even know he seen my goddamn pen video.
I was jumping like shit. I'm like, yeah, I look like a pipe head like shit.
That nigga petty too.
Hey, we even, man. I double tap your shit, you double tap mine.
My nigga is on. But seriously though, man, I was doing it. Okay, nigga, shut up. My turn now, nigga. Your turn, granddad.
My bad.
Nah, but for real, yeah, man. Like I said, I'm on Instagram. I'm the meme king on that joint, Rob Coffee, just like I sound, man. Check my comedy page with all my shows being as comedian Rob Coffee. This is actually my first Zoom joint ever at all. So I was protesting with that shit, you know what I'm saying? So I guess I started taking bookings for Zoom stand-up shows I'm looking at you, Fernando.
I ain't never did stand up on Zoom. So I can't vouch for it.
Book me. Like, y'all ain't book me.
Let me hear what Fernando bitch ass talking about. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me hear what
Fernando. Oh, yo, I gotta go, guys. I gotta go.
I see Sarah back there, nigga. I'm here, nigga.
Hey, look. Whenever you hear, whenever something is violent or extra tone, Fernando, like, I gotta go. Thank you, guys. Bye.
I gotta go.
CJay, the only reason I haven't had you here, not to say you're not funny or anything, but the only reason you get a little aggressive on that
insulting people and shit
for no damn reason,
neither. Plenty of times in Purple Lunch, I was like, CJay is gonna make us lose the crowd.
How the fuck you think I felt? Shit, I'm like, we about to lose this whole goddamn mic after this nigga get done with this shit. This nigga going the fuck off.
My shit is in the suburbs. Like a lot of suburbs.
I would have been happy out there. Hey, Fernando, like, I would have been happy out there.
I believe CJay was doing what we call now the Alex Star, That nigga just going all for no reason.
Oh my God.
It was Alex Starring. That is hilarious.
You compare me to Alex Star?
He was the Alex Star Purple Lounge.
CJay.
Nah, he goes to baby.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you this one story real quick, and I know Alex will probably hate me for this joint, right? So me and Alex did this show, right? And we did this show at this little warehouse joint. Like when we first started, it was like 4 of us, and it was this porn star show there. So what the whole thing was, we was gonna go first, and then was gonna have strippers in the end of the joint or whatever the case was, right? So everybody was doing their set. So we was all up there starting to host the joint now. Everybody was in this joint trying to get the girls to start dance or whatever. Why this nigga Alex kept telling the DJ to play some damn Beyonce, We was like, nigga, if you don't shut up with this, that. He was like, come on, tell him to play Beyonce, I'm like, dog, ain't nobody gonna dance and so in love and some damn strippers, and you talk about. I'm like, nigga, I'll never do the show for you again.
I'm gonna tell you right now. He already was a bee. What they call it? The beehive. He was already a beehive type and play him. Played him.
I was like, bro, if you don't stop doing
now,
that.
Nigga, play them now.
I was like,
hey,
yo, that shit was wild, man.
Hey, CJay, go ahead and give your Instagram real quick, man.
Who, me? I feel privileged. I feel privileged. I'm like Rob, I have nothing.
All right.
Shut the fuck up. I have a lot. Listen, people out there, great people, blessings. All these guys that are on here, wonderful comedians. Because I'm always shouting out the next, not myself.
Audition for, let's say, Islam out there, John. Come on, man.
See what I'm saying? See what I did?
I'll take any chance.
Hold on. I inspired Lonnie right there, and that's what I do. I inspire people. Y'all don't understand that. If you're looking for some inspirations, go to Comedy CJay. That's Comedy CJay. Go and check that guy out. Facebook, CJay Pickman, because I'm a photographer. Never knew what the fuck I really wanted to be. So I'm a photographer. I do construction. I do this. I do that. Thank you, guys. I appreciate y'all for having me on this week.
I bet you Lonnie was like, this nigga do everything.
They call me CJay everything.
My favorite was the inspirations. Like how many, is it a 6-pack of inspirations? What are we talking about?
This is the CJay inspiration. Now, you be wanting to do crack all this time like, fuck this shit.
I'm hurt now, brother. I'm hurt, brother. Hey, listen. Hold on. Hey, before you hop off, brother, I wish you would address me with that when brother Lonnie wasn't on the phone. I know he's Jewish and just not stone cold white. But brother, once you mention crack, I need to call Al Sharpton.
What's up with this nigga with the civil rights fans, man?
Hey, man.
I don't call another crackhead, huh?
Ben Mark.
That's fucked up. Who called Al Sharpton the crackhead, brother?
I did.
Ooh.
Lost 200 pounds in 21 days, man.
Don't do that, Rob. Rob, don't do that, brother.
He don't even got his perm on. He don't smoke his perm on.
Act like you talking about Man Barry, brother. You talking about Al Sharpton. Don't do that, man.
You look like the dude that sold the crack to Marion Barry, man. Shut up.
Go ahead, Jay. Jay, go ahead, throw your shit out there.
I always wanted to be in politics.
Instagram at Jay Does Comedy. JAY Does Comedy, all one word. I ain't got shit going on. Set with the No Life Boys. Working.
All right, Lonnie boy.
Being a father.
Oh man. Congratulations, bro.
I'm at Cox Comedy. Hit me up or don't. I don't care. I'm cool. I don't give a shit.
Hey.
His name is Cox guy. Give him a break. Give him a break.
Yo,
oh right, you guys didn't know that. Yeah, my last name is Dick.
Oh shit!
And that's all my comedy is about. That's all.
All right, man. And of course, man, I'm Rudy Wilson, Willy Nilly if you're nasty on Instagram. But most importantly, follow No Life Boys Productions on Instagram and social media. I mean, YouTube. That's NOLIFEBOYZZZ Productions. And I also revamped my website, rudycomedy.com. I got all No Life Boys Productions content. Got my personal content. And some other shit that somebody helped me put on there. You know what I'm saying? So go check it out, rudycomedy.com. Rob, hey, you can, and this go for you too, Fernando, but since Rob was filling out about the Zoom stuff, I want you to know, you don't need an invite to come back. If you want to come back to this motherfucker every week, feel free. You got the link or whatever, pull up. You feel what I'm saying?
Hey, bro, I want to get on that roast joint, man. That's what
you want to do the pot roast?
Yeah.
Fernando, you want to do the pot roast?
Nah, I'm good.
Y'all can do it together. I'll let y'all come on at the same time.
What day is the pot roast again?
That nigga said that shit quick.
This how you build your crowd.
I'm like CJay. I'm intellectual.
Hey, you low key be roasting though, Fernando. Like I done heard you throw jabs, bro.
Like I throw. That's it. But I only throw jabs and then I move. I'm like bam and I'm out. You know what I mean? All the back and forth. I'm like, yeah.
We got to pull you in there because just even for your laugh alone, like your laugh is contagious. It's gonna make the shit funny. So I'm gonna bring y'all on at the same time. That way you got.
Hey,
that
sounded funny.
What? Man, shut your ass up. You always woke by some shit. All right, man.
Look, you brought up the civil rights hands again.
Hey, what day is the roast again?
Hey, come on now, brother. Come on, man. You ain't even have to go there, brother.